Here we are, April 2012. Who would have believed in October 1987 that 25 years later Camp Quality would still be taking place? It really is a special camp, and it began at when a Rotarian based in Coffs Harbour, Australia, told me about what they were doing in their camp in Australia. And the thought then came through to us that possibly our area, which we live in the Loenveld, Malonga, would be absolutely especially suitable to running such a camp.
Now your dogs are very, very clever at home, hey? Okay. Now our elephants are much, much, much cleverer than dogs. After 18 months of training, these elephants over here could understand up to 85 verbal commands. Very good. There we go. Well done. Okay.
Trade, emotions like anger, fear, stress, happiness, aggression, madness, etc. All those emotions will be displayed by the secretion that comes out from this little form. You see that one, which moves across the eye. The pink one, which goes like that, more like a windscreen wiper. That one is called an anesthetic membrane. The use of that in an elephant is there to get rid of anything that gets into their eyes.
Okay, what are we going to say? Camp Quality!
The children that come here to Camp Quality fall into two big categories. Most of them have had acute leukemia. This is the acute leukemia of childhood, which in the 1950s and 1960s we discovered was a treatable condition. And now it is remarkable how many people survive acute lymphocytic leukemia, lymphoblastic leukemia as it's called, in childhood. The treatment's onerous. It's good 2.5, sometimes 3 years of treatment, involving lumbar punctures and all sorts of nasty things. But usually when they're through their first intensive phase, they're relatively well. And in fact, in the camp at the moment, we have at least 4 or 5 who are on maintenance therapy for acute leukemia. And that forms the biggest group, probably because they are good survivors, so we tend to see them more. Then we see quite a lot of people with lymphomas, which is a sort of gland, cancer of the glands. We see a lot of them. And then one will always notice the few who are running around without a leg and taking part, kicking balls, knocking footballs with their crutches in the most ambitious way. And those are little kids who've had osteogenic sarcomas, which have usually had to be removed. And they've had chemotherapy often as well as having the operation. I think those are the most common ones. Wilms tumor, a tumor of the kidney that we see in young children, probably makes up the rest of them. But those are the big ones. And then sometimes, of course, we get some children who don't have a cancer at all, but they have long-standing, perhaps life-threatening and certainly ongoing conditions. The ones that we see most commonly are children with haemophilia. They're quite a struggle because they want to take part as much as everyone else does, and so you have to make sure they don't bleed, and you have to make sure that they don't do anything quite as vigorous as perhaps the others do.
It's been a wonderful project and it's come a long way and developed over the years. The whole project was started off really by Brian Heisman. The major thing is it all revolves around groupings of people who've played a major part and continue to play a major part in this project.
Look, this little pot's also hand built. That's without rings. Is that you get your piece of dough, clay, and just heat it flat like that. Put small pieces of clay like that. It all makes it interesting. Once the glaze is on, it makes it nice and interesting.
Wow, what is that? That's what it Now you're rolling mine. He's rolling.
No. Well, not really, no. Okay. The closest I had was actually more sticking my thumb in a cobra's mouth than a bite. Alright, so I'm going to start from one side and walk around to the other. How's that feel? Not so bad. You don't want to? Okay. Shed a while back.
Imperial Theatre in Elspeth's been involved with Camp Quality for the last 4 years. We sponsor a vehicle and t-shirts for the children during the event, the week that their kids are busy. Imperial Theatre in Elspeth is very proud to sponsor Camp Quality in any way that we can and look forward to spending more money and more time on the camp in future.
Have you come to raise the dead? Have you come here to play Jesus on my head? Are the lepers in your head?
Mtweni was approached a number of years ago to get involved with a project. Having 2 kids of my own, it was close to me and near to my heart to help out these kids with cancer and to give them a holiday of a lifetime.